kind of weird without the headphones, isn't it?
It is weird, but it's okay.
You want to take that?
No, we're good.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
just deal with
Busy
that
day.
later.
A lot happening.
It's been a interesting one we have here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this barely happened. We've been putting this off for a couple days now.
Yeah.
We're not putting it off.
Weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no.
because you just got back from
Nashville and Narlands.
How's that?
That was a good time, man.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that we got hit going into Nashville.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
was-
Yeah, you do some kind of 360 maneuver.
Yeah. Pulled it out. No car accident.
Yeah, no shit.
But
Got
yeah,
out
we gone into Nashville, and we were like 10 minutes away from our exit, and I was going like 40 in the far lane because people out there don't know how to drive on that shit because it never snows or ices out there. So I'm going like 40 down the far lane because I knew our exit was coming up, and I see this truck next to us, and I knew that something was going to go on. I just felt it in my head. I knew that something fucked up was going to go on. Yeah, horrible juju.
Yeah.
So we're going. I'm just chilling, driving. And the next thing I know, I hear this dude's engine. Like, I could hear his truck engine rev up.
Before, like how you
Before
hear a
the
bullet
accident.
before
Yeah, exactly. Like you hear the gunshot before you get shot.
Yeah.
It was just like that.
No shit.
And I heard his engine rev up, and I looked in my mirror, and I could see him kind of whip out. And then I was like, here we go. And I just fucking grabbed the steering wheel, and then boom, he hit us. I mean, straight in the back of the car. And that, of course, since it's ice, it just completely spun us into a 360. And then I'm like fucking all I cared about, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. The only thing I cared about was, number one, I knew they were okay.
You were behind the wheel. They were fine.
I was the motherfucker that got hit on that side. So I knew Charlie and Dimitri were Gucci.
Yeah.
But the only thing I could pay attention to was, no matter what part of the 360 I was in, the only thing I could pay attention to was oncoming traffic.
Oh, shit.
So I'm trying to
you're working your way
correct this
around,
fucking thing while staring
traffic.
at oncoming traffic. And then, I'm like, okay, like, luckily there was literally no cars coming. None. Besides a policeman that was far enough back to where he could see exactly what was going on. And I got it corrected and finally stopped sliding, because that was the biggest thing, is we were doing a 360 and sliding down the highway. So
multiple 360.
Yeah, we probably did almost two full 360s sliding down the highway.
Fuck, man.
So we got it corrected, pulled over on the side of the highway.
So it was icy, you're saying?
Yeah, it was like solid ice.
Tennessee?
Like
That's
solid
crazy.
ice. And so we get out of the car, and I instantly knew that something else was going to happen, because his dude gets out of his truck, right?
Is he peacocking at this point?
I don't know what he was doing, but he gets out of his fucking car, and he gets out of his truck, which he just hit us in. Made us go into a complete 360. And he gets out of his truck, hops out, runs around his car.
Make sure.
And he's like, oh, shit, my wheel's broken.
Oh,
like, dude, he snapped his, because he went off the side of the highway, which it wasn't like, there's no guardrails or whatever.
So did he catch back up to you, or is this all pretty close?
This is pretty close, because he's trying to correct it, but he just went on the side of the highway where there's a bunch of fucking, like, freshly packed snow, and he's going all over the place. Four-wheel drive doesn't do too much whenever you're fucking sliding everywhere.
Right.
So he gets out of his truck. He's like, oh, shit, my wheel's broken, blah, blah, and like all this shit. And I was like, really? How do people, I don't understand it. How do people send someone into a 360 and then get out of their vehicle and be like, oh, shit, I need to check on my truck real quick?
Yeah. Well, he didn't
even fucking care about us.
No, that's Nashville.
It's like,
that's Nashville,
it's one of those things where I was like, God damn, man. So, like, he was pissy about his wheel being broken, because he snapped his axle. He snapped everything.
Oh, that's fucked.
Like,
he knows he's in a bad position.
Exactly. So then we get back to the hotel. We file the insurance claim or whatever. We call his insurance company the next day, and he tried to blame it on us. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's sleazy.
Yeah, he said that we slid into him and
broke his axle.
Broke his axle and all sorts of shit. And
I mean, why not try?
I mean, Russell, I sent you a picture.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I saw the picture. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I'm like, man,
you were like rear-ended a side swipe.
Check this out. If I would have slid into you, there would have been like tire marks up and down our vehicle.
So did you get a chance to like confront him about this?
No, because he was cool when we were there.
Sure.
He was cool when we were there, but as soon as we get away from each other, he's a fucking dickhead.
But I mean, is this something you're gonna have to deal with?
No, our
Or was it-
insurance.
or
As soon
was
as
it-
our insurance
as
got
soon as they saw the pictures?
they were like, no, there's no
Good.
way. And at the
That's
same
funny.
time, like when we were leaving, because we had to drive the car home, so we went to a body shop to have them pull the fender out because
Mm-hmm.
it was like, I mean, dude, anytime it would go under load, that suspension, it would just rub the outside of the tire. So
Right.
we went to a body shop, told her what happened. I said, can you guys please pull this fender out?
Now, was this
Like-
this was your car or your
This
girlfriend's car?
Charlie's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're like, yeah, like, you know what happened? We told her what happened. I was like, yeah. And the dude's trying to blame it on us. And she was like, I've been in this industry for a long time. There ain't no way in hell you guys slid into him. He hit you guys. And she's like, and I want you to know that your car is totaled. No one's going to fix this. So because
No
it bent the
shit.
frame on the inside of the car. So you have to
Damn.
go in, you know, fix the
So
fenders.
you're sitting
every-
here,
the door,
you
the
know,
trunk,
6
everything.
hours from home.
Yeah.
with a
Which we were
total
going to
vehicle.
Nashville. We were
So
going
wait,
there.
okay, so where
That was
exactly
part of the trip.
did this happen? I mean, I know you're going to Nashville.
Yeah,
Is
that was
this
10
right
minutes,
into Nashville?
10 minutes right outside of our, right away from our
Almost
hotel
made it,
exit.
huh?
10 minutes. Yeah, Nashville was part of the trip.
Yeah, I do. I keep
So,
forgetting that.
Yeah, and we got fucking destroyed. you know,
Damn.
And it's just, it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, you know, at least it wasn't our fault. At
Did you
least
meet
it's
a
gonna
witch
get taken
doctor or
care of.
anything in New Orleans? Any kind
So-
of voodoo ladies?
Charlie really wanted to go to one,
Yeah.
and I told her no.
Oh, you believe in that
I'm
stuff?
Not, yeah. I mean, in a
big
way,
voodoo
I
guy?
do, but I don't.
You
But
don't
at
want
the
to
same
find
time,
out?
I don't want to find out.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want Charlie to be like, in her
That's
head,
what
be like,
Demetrius
oh,
for.
this
You should
is
send him and get his fucking head shrunk a
this
little
is
bit.
Taylor, and start poking me, and I feel like little needles in my fucking head.
Oh yeah, you don't want. Voodoo
I don't want
dolls.
to do that.
Yeah, you don't. Want
I don't
voodoo
know
dolls.
if you want like sewing needles poked in your head.
I mean,
but-
I'd like to see the science behind it.
I want to see how it works.
I'd like to. Yeah, again, that's why you
How does
bring
this
a
doll do
dummy like
this?
Dimitri
Like,
along.
yeah.
So you can use him as the voodoo doll. I know that's a pretty big sized doll, but
Yeah, it's like, you know,
I mean that shit could be real. I've seen a lot of
I,
Scooby Doo's about it.
yeah, I believe I
fuck
do
those
believe
Scooby-Doo
it, but at
guys
the
up.
same time, like it's like I believe in ghosts. I believe in them, but at the same time, I've personally never seen one. So, but I do believe they're there.
Man,
you know.
all their chicken bones and shit. You don't want to fuck with them.
No.
The pig bloods, whatever
I'm
they
out.
got. I saw a voodoo lady one time. This is first when I was moving in down there in commercial. I mean, right
We
away.
have voodoo ladies here.
Yeah, they're homeless.
Are you sure? Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. I don't know if they're
What
authentic.
part of Commercial Street was
I
it
don't-
on?
I don't know if they're like certified voodoo or not. But it was actually, you know what? It wasn't where you'd expect it to be, which is that stretch on National
Was it on the
across from the
bridge?
Dollar General.
Was it by the bridge?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. You know the voodoo lady, yeah. Dude. She was like,
I've seen 'em.
She was trying to put her pants on. She's
Yeah.
naked. She's trying to put some pants on, and she's yelling out all these voodoo hexes and shit. And I was like, hey, I'm not about this. I
kind of want to find out, but I ain't about it. Yeah, nope, I'm out.
You know, the worst spot, I think it's the worst spot in Springfield, and I challenge anybody to go down there and look at this and prove me wrong. The worst 100 yards of Springfield, Missouri is, it's the National, it's on Commercial, between Nashville and, let's say, Washington, that roundabout.
Yeah,
There's multiple times I've almost hit crackheads yelling in the street, not knowing they were there. I'm driving and they kind of pop out of nowhere. All the windows are boarded up. They've all got their little camper wagon things outside. I see this all the time. It's wild. It's a wild world there.
really though, like that whole stretch, like I think it's the same place you're talking about. Like when you turn off National to go onto
It's
commercials.
by
It's like those
yeah.
houses by the not the
Yeah.
Dollar General, but like right past the Brown Derby.
Yeah, it's between. It's
It's
really
dude,
short.
all
It's
those
really
fucking
short.
houses
It's
are
there.
like-
It's like, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
there's
go
like
much further
8 or
past.
9 houses right there that are just
Just
fucked.
total dumps.
Yeah, they're that's
but
the
people
bando.
still live in them. They're very
Yeah,
active.
That's the bando.
Oh man, you know about the bando?
Bando.
What's the bando?
It's a slang for abandoned trap house.
Ooh,
The bando.
the bando.
That's what all those houses are.
They are.
Did I ever tell you? That actually is funny
I bet you
because
could walk in there and not like nobody would be the wiser.
we used to live on Turner and East. So, we'd have to drive by there, blah, 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 and I'd go and eat at a couple places on Commercial Street. But there was one night I was going down Commercial Street in those houses, right?
Yeah.
There was a humongous black lady. Didn't see her
wait, a
to
Big
save
Mama
my
house?
life. And I'm not saying that to, in a racist way. I'm just saying because it was dark
It's
outside.
dark, right?
She came out of fucking nowhere.
I don't think she came.
Nowhere.
This.
She came out the house.
Oh,
She came out of the
yeah.
house.
Big Mama's house.
And just decided that she was going to walk across the street
Wow.
and not look because I almost smoked her. I almost
I
smoked
can't
her
tell you.
right there, dude.
90% of all almost hit people I've ever had have been right in that section.
Yeah.
I mean, again, not racist. I can't see them, and they're not reflect. A lot of times they're just wandering or
Yeah.
doing some kind of dance.
The best part about it was no bullshit. I rolled down my windows because I fucking slammed on my brakes. I almost smoked her. And I rolled down my window and I'm like, can you watch where the fuck you're going? And then next thing I know,
I bet she had something sassy.
what's the dude from Friday? Debo.
Debo.
I swear to
already
God,
knew it.
dude, this dude looked just like Debo. Rolls up on a bike. Hey, bitch, where are you going? Where are you going?
To her?
Yeah, in the fuck. To her, dude.
One of his toes?
Yeah, apparently. But I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. You know, and the bad
That's
thing is
the
I
thing.
only lived like 4 streets over.
That stretch could be a reality TV
100%.
show. There's
100%.
so much going on. I
You
watched
could
a guy,
film hoarders there. You
Hoarders?
could film fucking dirtiest jobs.
Yeah, Mike Rowe, get his ass down there.
You
We get
could
Mike
film
Rowe. Intervention.
intervention.
But,
You
I
could
mean-
film, street crime 101.
Dude, cops. A lot of
Like,
cops is actually.
I mean,
filmed
dude, you
there.
could film a bunch of shit. You could film a movie.
Dude,
Like if you want the ghetto, that's the stretch you need
I
to go
don't.
to.
I mean, it's almost cartoonish how bad it is.
Yeah, it's bad. It didn't used to be that way either.
But it's just that one small
9
section.
houses.
Yeah, it's like
9
9
houses.
houses, barely a block.
Yeah, and the bad thing is too, you know the little building on the corner, that like it looks like a
Mattress
old,
shop?
Yeah. So did you know that dude has he builds his car in the back of that. He has a badass car.
No.
Like, and I see it every once in a while, but I have like you'll notice like if you go
Just
by,
like
you
a
see a
Gran
garage in the
Torino
back.
type situation.
Dude, it's a beautiful car. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I go by there. I'm like, dude, you have this dude building this beautiful fucking car in his business, in the back of his business, and then you go the next door over, and you got fucking Detroit.
Oh,
You know, it's like
man,
that. It's crazy.
I'm telling if I had the power, I would do a whole reality series on I call it the 9 house block. You do the 9 house. That's probably the name of the episode. The 9 house
9
block.
block.
I'm telling
Note
you.
that down.
Yeah, let's just take a little note here. That's because it's wild. I mean, and I never see the same people there either. And I don't. There's constantly being evicted too. There's always
Yeah.
big piles of trash.
Yep.
Like
Clothes, all sorts of shit.
yeah, but it's gone pretty quick too. And I don't know if that's a.
It's the people next door.
Yeah, that's,
And dude, it's a constant cycle.
It's a vicious.
Once one person
fucking
gets
cycle.
evicted, they take their shit,
Dude,
and then they
it
get
sucks.
evicted, and the next
Yeah.
person takes it. That shit's gonna be in that 9 house block for a
Dude,
fucking.
that's
about
all it is.
10
When
years.
one gets evicted and then it gets siphoned into another
Yeah.
house. Like yeah, it's just
100%.
back and forth.
They probably go and live with the next people over.
Yeah, they're still stealing like 8 tracks and shit.
Yeah, like that.
And 8-track
That's a
players.
fact.
Yeah.
You know, they're playing that shit. They're still from the pawn
Dude,
shop
Rick
down
James
the
and
street.
shit still
They could have just
going
paid a
there.
quarter for it.
Oh,
You know,
damn.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's wild.
that stretch of Springfield's a little crazy.
And it's like I don't.
Because Frisco Street used to be that way.
I haven't been down
Frisco Street, it's not the same anymore. But back
Did it
when
clean
I
its act
was
up?
when I was growing up, when I was like 13, 14, 15 years old, Frisco Street was that way.
Mm-hmm.
That whole stretch on Frisco Street, right by Silver Springs Park, that was all that way.
Oh, Silver
Dude, it was
Springs Park,
bad. It was bad. My mom used to hate when I went over to my friend Marcus's house
Was
because
Marcus-
he lived right on Division, right across the street from Silver Springs Park, Division and National. There's
That's
like the
that's
come
Smith
and go.
Park there.
No, that's Silver Springs.
Oh, Silver. Oh no,
Yeah.
you're right. That's by OTC's at Silver Springs. Yeah.
So there's like the come and go, and then there's one house which I know there's a girl that used to live there, and then there's my buddy Marcus' house where they used to live.
My grandma. I grew up right there in Division, across from Smith Park.
Yeah.
We go play at Smith Park all the fucking time.
Yep.
I would not live there now.
No.
Not.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts of North Springfield that they have, completely started to redo and stuff like that. Like even the place where we used to
Gentrified,
live,
for
yeah,
sure.
like even the place that we used to live, like we saw some crazy shit over there. But at the same time, like it was weird too because it was like, dude, it was completely like segregated. Like what was going on there? Like on one side of the road, like the side of the road that we lived on,
Where's this at?
it was on Turner and East. So
Oh,
you go
okay.
down a little bit farther, right before Commercial. Like we lived like right off of Commercial,
okay.
Kearney. So
Oh yeah. Okay.
they're like the side of the road that we lived on. It was like all these people took care of their yards, everything like that. They're super nice people, blah blah, white, black, Mexican, didn't
Homeowners.
matter. There was no actual segregation, but it was like everyone took care of their shit over there. Everyone cared about what their house looked like. Everyone cared about all this shit. And then you literally crossed the fucking street. You crossed the street. We saw a dude get held up in his house by about 15 different fucking cop vehicles. I mean, they're all outside with AR-15s
Live
trying to
PD?
pull this dude out. I wish it would have been
Damn,
because I was
that'd be
sitting in my front
rocking.
yard, you know.
Dude, that's
but
how I wanna go.
We saw that shit. We saw a dude die because he overdosed on
Well,
heroin
that's
outside of
not
this
cool.
fucking house. You know, he came outside. I was walking outside one day with my dogs, and I look over and this dude's like zombied, you know, walking outside of this house that we knew people were selling shit out of there. It was
kind of
obvious.
dope house.
Yeah,
It's-
it's a fucking it's a bando.
He's a
Yeah,
bando.
it was a bando.
A bando.
But he came out and no shit. He got to the end of their driveway, takes a right to go down the sidewalk, and then just boom, plop, dead,
That was it.
dead,
He's done.
100%. And
Did you have to report it? did you
someone
walk
else
away?
already did. I think the people actually
Oh,
that
they
was-
probably
that
like
sold the shit to him
preventive. Yeah, he's like, he's dying.
told him.
No
You know,
shit.
the cops are over at those people's house all the fucking time, man, all the time.
Dude, that's gonna be shitty too. Is it being a cop? Like,
Yeah.
just constantly down there dealing with dumb shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is like, man,
Bunch
like
of dopers.
a lot of police officers nowadays, like, you know, it's just like different than I feel like it was back in the old days because like we had a couple of cops come in here the other day and I asked them
In
how
here?
everything, yeah,
Just
like
to eat?
yeah, just to eat. And I told them, I said, you know, let me discount your guys' meals because
Oh, because
they're police officers.
you stand the
You
blue
know,
line,
yeah, it's
right?
like I mean,
back the blue.
I back the blue, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it's just I was like, let me give you guys a small, you know, little
Yeah,
discount
I mean,
because you
that's
guys
good
are police
mark.
officers.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, no, seriously.
Oh,
don't.
they wouldn't accept it.
And I was like,
They're proud
was
folk.
the food bad? Like what, you know, what happened?
Yeah,
I was like,
it's so bad if
yeah,
I
it's
pay
like,
full price.
it's like, what the fuck, you know? I was like, why not? And they were like, no, like we don't, no, you don't need to give us a
Damn,
discount.
well, they don't do that.
I did it
coming, though.
anyways, but it's just, you
Dude,
know,
balls.
yeah, I did it
Ballsy
anyways,
move.
but it was just, I mean, it's one of those things, man, where it's like, you know, I respect people that are like that, you know?
Well, that's the thing. It's like I could never do it. I know
No.
I'm enough of a pussy that I'm not gonna go walk into some abandoned house. I was coming by Founders Park on my way up here, and I was like, dude, I wouldn't want to walk through that thing because all the shapes and shadows and shit and drifter hobos. I mean, I've always thought too. It's like imagine owning a haunted house. Okay, it's dead all year except,
Yeah.
and then you go in at the beginning of the season. Someone has to go through there and clear that shit out from like 8 months of
Nothingness.
of nothingness and hobos living there probably and shit. You don't know
Especially
what
the
you're gonna
fucking Hotel of
find.
Terror.
Exactly.
They live under that bridge.
Yeah, so you don't think
Yeah,
they're sneaking in there
they're-
during the
they're
year?
definitely getting
So
in there.
imagine being the first person to go and clean that thing out.
I'd get scared just because you'd walk in there and you'd be like, oh, everything's kosher. And then all of a sudden you go inside and all these fucking Halloween decorations are everywhere. And you're like,
Fuck that little minty clown.
ah!
Yeah.
Who the fuck put that there?
Dude, I hit a guy one time in there, and then they asked me to leave. That's them close
Did
to
you leave or
been
did
to
you
a
finish
fight.
it out?
Oh, I fucking leveled this midget. He was like this Chucky clown. I said, "Fuck no."
I'm out.
I leveled him, and then they were like, "Hey, dude, that's not cool."
Yeah, you
I
know
go,
there's-
well, you know what's also not cool is fucking scaring
Yeah,
me at a haunted
yeah.
house.
Don't do that.
I warned
I'm
you
not
guys.
supposed to get scared when I go to a haunted house.
said, yeah, I warned you
Come
guys.
out, I'm fucking decking you.
Dude, I
There-
told you.
There's a haunted house. I think it's either in Kansas City or St. Louis. That it's like 5 stories, big ass building. And if you make it to the top, you get your money back.
No shit, they're that
Yeah,
confident.
Like they're confident. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I made it to the top, but the only reason why I made it to the top is because I ran.
Okay, but you get your
So
money back.
we're going down this like walkway, right? And like things are trying to scare me. I don't get scared very easy. Things are trying to scare me. I'm like, man, it's whatever. You know,
run
like, it's
through
a
the
good
midgets
haunted
and
house
clowns.
because 5 stories. You know, and it's a cool haunted house.
Yeah.
The next thing I know, no bullshit, I'm sitting there walking, just casually walking through this thing. And Jason pops out behind me with a real fucking chainsaw.
Oh, with no chain, though.
No, I had a chain on it, but it wasn't like spiky.
do
You
you
weren't cutting a tree down. It was just like one of the ones that
Just
it's
give you a
like
good rash?
like a bike chain, basically.
Oh, we put a bike chain on there.
But he
That's
was
gay.
He was dragging it across the ground,
Was
and
it
it's
sparking?
dark. So
Was it
it's
sparking?
sparking.
Hell yeah.
Throwing
This is a
fucking
good
sparks
haunted
at me. I
house.
said, fuck this. And I fucking
Yeah.
ran up the rest of the place because number one, I wanted my money back because that's fucked up.
You're that close.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's
You know,
pushed
this is
too
on like
far.
the 3rd or 4th floor. I ran the fucking rest of the way up. I said, I made it through. Give me my goddamn money back. And you better tell Jason that he better
Yeah.
never do that to no one else.
Damn right.
Like, number
Nobody-
one,
I wonder how many people
the
make
dude
it
was
up there.
built like Jason. So I'm not
You don't
fighting
want
that
that.
dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, he's
I'm not
gay.
fighting that guy. At the same time, it's a sparking fucking chainsaw. I'm not doing it. Hell no.
It's funny that you pay to go
Yeah,
to some place
like-
and then have to be confronted with the situation. I'm gonna have to fight this guy. I'm
gonna beat this
gonna
dude's
have
ass.
to beat this dude's
Like,
ass.
I'll take
me
my
a
fucking
chainsaw?
pants off. I'll get naked.
Yeah.
I
I'll
no
do
one wants to
whatever I
fight a
had to
naked man.
fucking do.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll punch him in the dick. I don't care. Like, I
Jason,
do not get fuck
motherfucker.
you, Jason. You know, you're not scary in movies, but in real life, you fucking come behind me.
Yeah,
That's
no
a different
shit.
story.
Your movies suck, but
It's a
dude,
different
you were
story,
actually pretty
dude.
scary.
Like that was the craziest haunted house I've ever been to. I don't even know if they still do. I'm assuming they probably still do because it was busy.
How much? I mean, you got your money back, or they find some kind of bullshit like?
It was like $40,
It's good.
but yeah, I got my money back and I never went.
Were
back
you
there
with?
ever
Were
again.
you with like a date or something that you ditched?
No, I was with a couple of my buddies.
Oh,
So-
pussies you meet?
Yeah,
didn't get your money
they,
back.
They were running with me. They
Oh,
were
did they
running.
get their
Oh
money
fuck
back?
yeah! They were,
Okay,
dude, that,
never mind.
and none
I
of
take that back.
us really got scared of shit. You know, that whole entire way up, you know, little Chuckies were popping out, blah, blah, blah. I didn't care about
Dude,
that.
again, being a midget is such a you make all your money in such a small amount of time because you go straight.
Was that a
you go
joke?
Huh?
Was that a joke? You said in a small amount of time.
No, yeah. I'm gonna be littering those throughout,
silent
so you
joke.
want to really pay attention here. So yeah, so there's a small amount of time in your seasonal work where you make all of your money because you go straight from Chucky basically to an elf.
Yeah.
And that's a tough transition, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you
That's completely
you
different.
got to really hone in your skills. But again, I mean, what else do you do?
What's that one really popular midget dude that was in
Those shit. He
Austin
was in a
Powers.
lot of stuff. Yeah,
Austin Powers.
Burning.
yeah, that dude's a baller.
He's dead. He's
That
dead,
dude-
isn't he?
Yeah, but he was a fucking baller.
Did he die? Did he succumb from his?
I don't
from
know,
his-
but he had like
from his
this
ailments.
dude. He had a lot of money. I mean, it was
He
mostly probably
did.
because of Austin Powers, but
Oh yeah.
that dude had stacks. Because I remember seeing like an MTV Cribs one time, and it was his house.
Was that the one? I saw one where he was racing kids in Power Wheels or something.
Yeah, like he was just a little gangster.
Just a little guy.
Yeah,
just a little
gangster.
just a little guy. I mean, but you know, that's like the limit. Like that's the best you can do as a.
There's not a lot of other stuff you really can do, and it sucks. But at the same time, I mean, like,
You just need to. You just hope that you're like. I mean,
Yeah.
the Jackass guy. I mean, the Wee Man.
yeah,
He got lucky.
Yep.
You just gotta hope that you can latch onto a group of rich folk.
yeah. I mean, even like, I mean, dude, like, you look at like that TV show where it was like Little People or whatever it was called.
Oh, Little People, Big World.
Yeah, it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
they're all probably fucking stacked up now because of that
What do
show.
you mean stacked up?
You know,
You're in a trench
You know what
coat.
I'm saying? Yeah.
like trying to get into a movie.
all those like you can't tell me that how many seasons were out of that show.
Oh, dude, yeah. I
Bajillion. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
so they
I know.
all
Dude,
have
but
money
they
now.
don't make that much. I mean, think about it. TLC is exploitation. That's what they would talk about black exploitation films
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
TLC is a white exploitation channel. You've got 1,000-pound sisters. You've got 600-pound life. You got intervention. You
Isn't
have
16 and pregnant on there too?
16 and pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got hoarders. No, these are all white people problems.
Yeah.
There are no black people on anything TLC does.
Yeah.
And it's
That
not
is true.
It's not like a race. It just shows the worst part of white America.
Unless it's like a biracial like
yeah,
relationship.
yeah.
But
or extreme
yeah, it's like
cheapskates or something.
where white people fuck up.
yeah.
You know, that's where they
These
fuck
are
up.
all of our problems. We're gonna put them on the learning channel
Yeah.
and call it good.
Don't get pregnant when you're 16.
Fuck. I mean, look.
I mean-
these are all lessons to be learned.
But it still
90
happens
Day
every day.
Fiance.
Yeah.
That one's great. Big Ed. You
The
remember him?
Bachelor on there.
It should be.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Should be.
another
I mean,
one.
that's the one that made it out.
Yeah.
that's
They made it out.
That's the one that made it out to main programming.
Yeah.
But no, TLC is just trash TV. But god damn it, if I don't love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've watched Little People Big World multiple times.
Oh God.
I've also watched 16 and Pregnant multiple times.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
you just stroll through those shows and you realize like all these fake problems that they have because it's a TV show.
I watched. What was I watching? I was watching Love After Lockup. Ever seen this one?
when they get out of like jail
Yeah,
or whatever.
well, yeah. But they start the relationship in jail. Yeah.
I've seen that too. It's like, man,
And it's like, I promise they're not taking advantage of me. Yeah, they fucking are, you idiot. It's bad. There's like voodoo mysticism guys, and you know, it's sad because it's both sides. It's not just women versus men. Like it's some men are super lonely and they will write to women's prisons.
oh yeah, 100%. I mean, there's dudes that I was in prison with that did that shit. They be writing to random fucking women that They don't even know who they are.
Oh yeah,
What are they called? Pen pals. Pen pals.
pimp pals.
Pen pals?
I think so.
I think that's right.
I think that's right.
Something like that. But or like
Dude, but that's got to be low on the list. Like that's like, dude, all right. Local bar not checking out, tired of that scene. Next logical step, write an inmate.
yeah.
Start sending them money, and from there you
And
just
hope they don't take advantage of you when they get out.
Yeah, hope they're who they say they are while they're
Yeah.
in prison.
Which I can confirm most of them aren't.
They're
So,
dirt bags.
yeah.
All of
A lot of them are.
You're just looking for any kind of human connection in the outside world. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
That's the thing. I mean, you know,
And
some
the people looking for that are not.
see, yeah, there's a lot of people that look for that type of shit, and there's some people that they think that that's their way of finding love.
I watched.
you know,
Yeah, well, at least their idea of love.
yeah, like,
I saw one. They broke up over a grilled cheese sandwich on Love After Lockup. He didn't make it right, so he's like, "I'm fucking out of here," and then he beat up like the brother because they thought he was taking advantage. It's a wild show. It's so
a crazy
fucking
place.
wild. Dude,
it's a
these
very
people.
crazy place.
Oh man, TLC is just. And again, I don't think they pay him that much. Like they
Aren't
pay him
like
enough
the-
to not get sued, probably.
Aren't like the house shows on TLC too, like where they like redo the homes and stuff? Or
No,
is that
that's
like
HGTV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
that's
on there, too.
way. That's a totally different ball game.
yeah. That's
from
where like
TLC.
the right things that white people do.
Yeah. That's good white
Yeah.
folk. that's
what you hope white
That's
people
what
are.
you could be.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you're not on
Yeah.
TLC,
You're either TLC level or you're HGTV
Yeah.
white. There's no in between. Like there's two types of whites.
yeah.
There's HGTV and
They're
TLC.
just on two different channels.
no.
That's how you separate them.
Yeah. We're separate. There's two different whites. If we want to be real about it, and it's true because I know successful people and they kind of relate to that, but I also know shitbags
Yeah.
that would be doing great having their own TLC program.
Yeah. A lot of people have like TLC ideas. That's when you realize that that's the
That's a
TV
good
show.
point.
That's like the channel they belong on.
And it's not even that it's an idea for a show; it's an idea for their actual life.
Yeah, no,
It's like,
that's,
hey,
that's how they portray that they want their life to look.
Yeah, it's like, hey, if I do this, man, I got this great fucking idea to really get myself
Yeah.
out of this. And you're like, all right, pause.
Like they're like, oh, dude, how cool would it be if I got 2 16-year-olds pregnant?
Dude,
That's
yeah,
TLC.
right? Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
TLC. I'm like, that's a fucking horrible idea. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why would you do that?
Oh.
You have 2 kids now.
Yeah,
you know,
you idiot.
One's hard enough.
With teenagers.
Yeah,
With
like
high
one's hard
schoolers.
enough. You know, your bad luck is you
Dude,
probably
you
have
basically
2
got
girls.
4 at that point. If you're
Yeah.
knocking up 16-year-olds,
You're like,
you've got
you're raising
4
4
fucking
teenagers
kids. In an instant,
one time.
In an instant, you're a quadruple parent.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, people. There's people that have TLC ideas, but then there's people that have HGTV ideas.
Yeah. Well,
Those
those
are
are
the
those
people I try to hang out
motherfuckers.
with.
Those are those. Well, also though, those are those motherfuckers on Facebook that are always selling houses and shit. I'm getting real tired of them. I'm working up a bit right now, especially in the Sunday paper. Man, I'm constantly seeing them. These,
Ever since I took over here, I've
have
had
a
so
different
many
attitude?
fucking so many friend requests on Facebook from realtors.
oh, it's bullshit.
It's
isn't it?
ridiculous.
It's bullshit.
I've had like probably 35 friend requests from all realtors,
it
and
sucks.
I'm like,
it sucks, doesn't it?
where the fuck did this even
Are you
come
accepting
from?
them?
Not most of the time, no.
Because
Because I'm like, oh, you're another realtor. No.
yeah, it's
Oh, you're another one.
Because
No.
all they're doing is trying to sell you houses that don't exist.
And the bad thing is too is that the ones that I have accepted, ain't none of them try to sell me a house yet.
Yeah, well, there's no.
You're not
fucking
even
house to
doing
sell.
your job right,
bitches.
assholes.
Dude, you're TLC realtors.
you TLC motherfuckers.
TLC fucking
Yeah.
realtors. Get
You
fucked.
should start a TV show.
Yeah.
Fucking
Dude,
assholes.
nobody's watching that shit. Oh, I get so sick of it because they'll do like the live thing. Like they'll do the, we're here at an open house. Like,
Yeah.
check this shit out. We got 3, 2, 1. And it's like, fuck you, dude.
Yep.
The house is already sold, and you know it. Like no house no house is on the market for more than.
Yeah, someone's currently signing papers for it.
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
want
yeah.
to try to,
There's
fuck
this
those
motherfucker
people.
in the newspaper, and he really gets on my nerves. His name's Tom Riken, and I'm gonna.
You even know his name.
Dude, I
It
know his
pisses
name.
you off.
Dude, this guy fucking sucks, and I'm building a case against him. Not legally, just a
fuck him up one
podcast
day.
case. Dude, I'm gonna call him out presenting this shit to him because he has this whole. He takes a half-page ad in the newsletter, and it's like 15 or 20 houses, but they're all sold or under contract. It's like it's either a big flex or the guy's a fucking idiot and keeps paying for the same thing over and over and over.
Are they the same houses?
That's why I'm starting to catalog now because it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing available. So why are you even advertising?
I don't know any realtors that are selling 5 houses at one period of time right now.
No, I know realtors that are begging for someone to sell them their house so that they can give it to someone.
And that's the thing that I've noticed too with realtors is like they're literally trying to get people to sell them their fucking houses so they have something to sell.
Fucking shysters.
Yeah.
Is what they are.
It's like, I mean, but really, you know, I've told people before, it's like, man, I give mass respect to realtors because that shit is not simple because of what they have to go through.
Furthermore, there's going to be a big housing crash soon, and these motherfuckers have put every egg they have into this basket.
Yeah.
And they have no other skills past this. So they're fucked.
Yeah.
And
if the housing market crashed, I mean, that's when everyone's going to be like, let's buy this house. You know, I mean, so then your commission, because you paid X amount of dollars for this home, and now you got to sell it for this amount, you ain't making fucking commission. These people are probably going to end up selling their house for little to nothing. You know, it's like, I'm cool with it because I'm the one buying the fucking house.
Right.
But on the other side, no.
Exactly. Right now it's a buyer. Well, I mean, they're just, they're dumb. They're dumb. They're idiots.
A lot of them.
And this is coming from a guy that, you know, could benefit immensely from the business from realtors.
Yeah.
But
do all like you can go in and fix shit.
I can go in and fix shit. I can remodel other shit. I can do whatever. But it pisses me off so much. I'm willing to look past financial gain to expose these TLC realtors.
Yeah.
And it makes me sick.
Like me personally, man. Like, yeah, I'm going to buy a house eventually, but I'm like super picky about like what I want now. And I really want like an all black house.
Oh,
like
I've seen
inside
those.
and
They
outside.
look pretty wicked. But
with like the, you know, like either like wooden accents or like white or whatever. But like that's
cool.
exactly what I want to do.
Cool.
But I talked to a guy that comes in here a lot. And by the way, if anyone couldn't tell right now, we are not in the normal spot. We are in my restaurant.
Yes, Bruno's.
Filming. So there was an internet outage at Russell's apartment.
Yeah, fucking Juan Communications. You need to get your shit together.
We have them too.
Do you?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The internet's probably down.
Dude, motherfucker. We're just talking to the
We're
abyss.
just talking for no goddamn reason. But yeah, it's like, you know, we're not in the normal spot. So just in case you guys are wondering. But I talked to a guy that comes in here a lot, and he remodels homes for a living. And he's a super cool guy. He's a Greek guy, so me and him get along really well. And I told him, I said, you know, how much would it be if like I found a house that's like super badass that I want, but it's not all black? I said, how much would those additions be? And he's like, well,
just to paint it, or like, do you want to redo the whole thing?
like, you know, if I went into a house and they had like a white, like a white stove, stainless steel fridge, you know, things like that, like white everywhere, basically. So then all you have to do is go in and paint. I said, how much would it be to do that? And he was like, how big of a house? And I was like, well, I want, you know, anywhere from 4 to 5 bedrooms and, you know, hopefully 2 stories or whatever. And he's like, it's going to cost you about $20,000 or $30,000. I was like, fuck that. I just want to find one that's already done.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, cause if you're spending, you know, say $500,000 on a house and you got to immediately pay $30,000 to make it look the way you want it to look.
Right. Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
That's probably being pretty generous too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just talking paint, I mean, yeah.
That's a lot of money for painting though.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Like I know how much we
Interior,
painted
exterior.
this for, and that, you know, that's a whole entire restaurant. But and to
I
paint
thought
a
you were gonna
house,
cover this up.
yeah, I mean, it might happen eventually.
I
But-
mean, at a point, it was probably cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it needs a touch up if we were to keep it.
it's just too watercolory, you know?
Yeah,
It needs to be a little more Renaissance. If it was a little more kind of Renaissance-y, you know what I mean? Like oil painting style, old Italy, that would be a little cooler. But this is just kind of
me.
watercolor.
Meh.
Yeah, not to tear your restaurant apart.
Thanks, Russell.
Yeah.
Other people like it.
You know, it's
Swear
not
to
bad.
God, other people
you know,
like
it's
it.
not bad.
Well, you know, it's
bad.
Bruno's house, right?
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know. You think that's really what he sees? Like, you think that's
No,
the
it's
view?
literally his house. Like he paid someone to go up on the mountain, which is what she's sitting on in this while she was drawing this, and that's literally what.
The
you
fuck
see.
did he come here for?
His ex-wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dumbass. But hey,
But
that's
he'll
me
probably
too.
go back soon. So that's what he told me. He said
That's like
hopefully
a
by
man.
the,
Like that. What's his deal? What's his deal? How did he come across such a manner?
he's
in
owned
Tuscany?
restaurants since he was 26.
Yeah, but I mean, Tuscany,
Italy.
you kind of have to be like, you don't just go and buy a house in Tuscany. Like you have to be gifted that shit for years, right?
I don't think he was. I think he bought it. I
Damn.
could be wrong.
Damn.
But I think he actually like that. I think he bought that.
I mean, that's
So-
quite the view.
Yeah. That's like actually his vineyard and everything.
Damn, he's got a vineyard.
Yeah. That's where all those little.
What does it do during the
Pretty
year?
dope.
Does somebody work it? Does
Yeah.
somebody stay there? Oh, okay.
Yeah. He still.
Does he have his own
produces
wines here?
Not here. You have to figure out a way to import them.
Oh, there's like
Yeah.
import export shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of processes
Actually,
you have to go
I watched a weird. Someone was showing Netflix about kind of the wine industry and how like French wine. It's kind of like syrup where they will store it and create demand and shit like that. It was super
French wines.
interesting.
I lately, like my whole time of like drinking wine, I never thought that I would like wine more than I like Malbec.
Fuck Malbec.
It's a grape. Like it's super dry wine. It's a red wine, super dry. Normally has like blackberry, plum. Like you can taste the tannins, which is the wood, things like that. Like you can really taste that in that wine, and it's like full of flavor because it's so dry.
Yeah.
And I've always, and I will forever love Malbec. But lately, I've been drinking
Is it a
French
brand or a
wine.
style
It's
of-
a grape.
Oh, great.
So
You
there's a bunch of
said that,
different
sorry.
vineyards that make them. But lately, I've been drinking a lot of French wine because it's like it's growing on me, and it's like right underneath Malbec, but I drink it a lot.
Acquired taste, or is it something?
I
you
think
just never
more
paid attention
people.
to?
I think more people would like French wine compared to Malbec because French wine, like some of them are pretty dry, but at the same time, like a lot of them are like kind of right there in the middle. Like it's a medium-bodied wine,
Yeah.
and a lot more people would probably rather drink that than a Malbec because it's full body. Like it is as full body as it gets. It's super dry, and a lot of people just don't like that. You know, it's
Yeah.
But French wine is like it's very popular, but I didn't really drink it because I didn't think anything about it. Well, we have French wine here, so I tried it and I was like, holy shit, that's good.
Big
So like
difference?
now everywhere that I've been going that has like a nice French wine, I'll get that. And like, dude, I've been hooked on Bordeaux's and Burgundies lately. Like, I don't
never
know.
tried
I
any of
love
those,
them,
yeah.
dude. They're so good. Like, it's
I
so
always-
good.
I love. I mean, I really like wine, but I don't know anything about it. I'm afraid to venture out, and so what is it? Cabernet.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's
Is that
most people's
really okay? All right. Well, that's where I
Cabernet
started.
Sauvignon.
Yeah. I can't
That's-
say the
that's
last word, so I
Sauvignon.
just.
It's one of my favorite
Sauvignon?
words. Yeah,
Sauvignon.
Sauvignon.
Sauvignon. All right. Now
It's
I won't
like-
look so dumb.
Cabs are like very, very up there in the
Oh,
wine
they're
world. We sell a
delicious.
shit ton of cabs here.
Oh yeah, I can pound a couple bottles easy.
Yeah,
Of that.
like cabs and Merlots are like some
I
of your
tried
most
Merlot.
popular.
Merlot's okay. It's nice to go back and forth, but I don't know.
Merlots
what
to
would be
me
my-
are
what
like
would be my next
too-
spec?
Merlots to me are like too grape juicy. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like it's
Yeah.
just it's not my.
Well, that was
it's
sort of
not
where
my
I started,
style.
and then I found this, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, this one's actually way
Yeah,
better."
cabs are a lot better than Merlots in my opinion. Like that
Yeah,
just.
yeah, oh yeah.
I've had them, and it's like I said, Merlots are just super like grape juicy.
Yeah,
like, that's
I-
what
I
I get
get
out of it. I
that.
don't even feel like I'm drinking wine, but
And
we sell
then
a lot of Merlot, and then we sell a lot of cabs too. Like, and we have cabs from $30 a bottle to 200. I mean, they're all over the place. But it's just like, if I was you, I would like
another type of one. Give me another type of
I'd
wine.
probably try like. I think you would like a Bordeaux. It's a French wine.
Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Bordeaux.
I think you
Alright.
would like a Bordeaux.
Yeah.
So
I'll give that
try
a
one of
whirl.
those, see if you like it. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's light, but it's still got like that medium body like a cab does. And I don't know, the Bordeaux's are so fucking good, dude.
And again, I don't.
so good.
Yeah. I don't know shit about it, but I do know I can put back some wine.
Yeah, me
I
too.
do know that. Like it's fucking. I can really slam some,
Yeah.
and
just
so
gotta be
that means I
careful, though.
like it. So
Yeah.
there's
You got to be careful because some wine, if it's like cheaper, it'll fucking give you the worst headache you'll ever have in your
Oh,
life.
dude, it sucks.
Like if you drink like good wine that's like a little bit more expensive than the traditional wine you go to the store and buy. Like
Because, again, I'm sold by labels. I'm just your typical dumb American connoisseur, And so I went. I've been doing the Francis Coppola wines, just because I like I like Apocalypse Now. That's a good movie, and so I was like, I got that, and that was really good. So I like that. So that's as far as I've ventured.
And there, I mean, dude, it's hard too because like there's so many
That's the
different
thing
fucking
too.
wines.
Yeah.
There's so many, and like taking over this where we like specialize in
So
wine.
yeah, did you have to learn?
I did.
like a quick
Yeah,
crash
because like
course on
before,
this
dude,
shit?
like before I took over here, like I would drink Malbec every place that I went. I would drink Malbec at home, and I would drink rosé whenever it's in season. I would drink rosé, and then I would drink Sauvignon Blanc during the summer. That's it. So all of these other wines that I've never really like dipped into, like I had to know what they taste like because if someone ever asked me, I have to know now.
Right.
But
and you don't want to, show your ass.
There's some wine that I just do not like
What's
Spanish. There's a Spanish grape called Grenache. I fucking hate it.
So is the wine named after the grape?
Most of like,
Because you keep
a
using
Merlot is a grape, a Cabernet is a grape, things like that. So that's what those, like all those words that you see, like the label will say like, the wine that you drink, that's the vineyard that it comes from. But then if it says Cabernet Sauvignon, that's the grape that they use.
That's the grape they specifically use.
And typically,
that's interesting.
Yeah. So like Malbec is a grape, Bordeaux is a grape, Burgundy is a grape, things like that. It's like that's what grape they're using in that.
And are those grapes, a lot of blends. Is that sort of a genetic, like they grow these things generation after generation the same way?
Yep. Same exact way.
Okay.
Because if you are a vineyard, you can't really like.
There's no cross.
If you start selling your stuff, you can't really, and especially if people are buying it and they're buying it frequently, you can't really like, I'm going to try new soil because it could taste completely different than what you're already selling.
Now, if you had the same grape with a different soil, like the same seed,
it would taste different than the first time you grew it.
God, dude, that's gonna be frustrating.
Yeah, like,
and then also it has to age a little bit, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, like it has to age for I think it's multiple years, honestly. I think
dude,
I could be wrong about that too, but I mean it takes a while to age it. But a lot of people have different processes of aging wine. Some of them do it in oak barrels, some of them do them in fucking under the ground. It's like, I mean, that's,
and that affects the taste.
Yeah, it's like it affects the taste because it's like if you're aging them in a barrel oak, it might get a little bit of that weird barrel taste and stuff like that. But if you age it under the fucking ground, like it's gonna have like no light ever, and it's gonna have like this earthy,
it'll have a constant
earthy style flavor.
Well.
I mean, they just do a bunch of crazy shit. They all have their own little.
Is there? But I think the main question is those like, is it that noticeable, or you just?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So if it's the same grape from the same place,
it's even like.
Are you? Because I've always wondered this. Like, Smoley, are you being like a smug asshole?
No.
If you can tell the difference between something that's
because you have to think like there's different regions that grow the same grape.
Right.
They always taste different.
And you're able
always.
to.
You can taste it very, very clear. So if you have a Malbec from Argentina, which is literally like that's the home of Malbecs because of the elevation, the soil, blah, 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 everything.
So South American?
Yeah. So that is the number one spot for Malbecs. So if you drink a Malbec from Argentina and then you drink one even from like Chile or something, another place that has, Malbec, it'll completely taste different because their elevation's different, their soil's different, their water supply is different, like just random shit. It all ties into that wine. So I've had, most of the Malbecs that I drink are always from Argentina. I think they're better. But I've had a French Malbec before, and it was completely different tasting.
I wondered, too, because I'm guessing that has to do with climate, which I'm trying to think where Argentina is specifically, because it will be the same opposite the equator, because France, if it's the same distance from longitudinally, if that's even a word, you know what I mean? It's like Argentina could be France on a different axis.
Yeah, I think.
Because if they're the same distance from the equator when it tilts, it's they're going to have the same seasons, the same climate.
Yeah, that is true.
And so maybe that's part of it too. That could
it's
be.
like, I mean, dude, wine is fucking weird, man. Like wine is very weird because, like I said, you could drink, a cab from Italy, and you could drink a cab from California, and it's going to taste completely different. And like a lot of things that they do in Napa Valley and things like that, they do an amazing job. Some of the most expensive wines we have here are Cabernets from California.
I've heard that that's one of the best places.
Yeah, Napa Valley.
Yeah,
it is.
I
think that is, especially when it comes to the United States.
Wait, you think even over the world? I mean, it's a contender?
In the world, I mean, it's probably a contender, I would say. Like South America, Italy, France, Napa Valley. Like
so you got a place. You get a place like St. James, Missouri. St. James Wine. I already know, but that's got to be due to the climate of Missouri. It's probably not really that fucking great.
What the fuck? Look
you can grow grapes,
and plus look at our seasons. We don't even have them.
Right.
Like our seasons happen at random periods of time and on a daily basis.
It's
hot
gamble.
as fuck. It's snowing. It's raining. It's fucking hot as fuck again. It's raining. It's like it's literally Missouri in general is a terrible place if you have like anything that has to do with like climate or seasons.
Great point.
It's like we don't have anything like that.
A flash frost.
Try to grow fucking wine in Kansas and see how good it is.
Dude, I have a buddy. His dad's been growing grapes for years, and occasionally they'll get a few.
Yeah,
but that's it. Like it's not enough.
Not a place for it.
But they seem to be able to produce a good amount of it for our local gas stations and
places that don't need them.
Places that don't need them.
Missouri, I mean,
Missouri
sucks for anything that's like, in my opinion, like food and like wine and things like that. Like in the restaurant industry, I'll say
echelon.
Missouri sucks. We can get a lot of stuff in Missouri. We can get a lot of shit. I can get fresh fish in.
Oh, we need to start talking chilies too. I'm telling you.
I can get fresh fish in. I can get fresh produce. Yeah. Missouri is good for produce. I'll tell you that right now. If you go to any of these local farms around here,
located.
Exactly. You go to any of these local farms around here, they have amazing produce. I love it. But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of things that no, we can't get that shit.
Like what?
Yeah, like grains. No one has grains around here. It's like
there's like wheat and
yeah, stuff like that. Like
I see it growing all the time. What do you mean?
But
like
people grow it, but they don't harvest it. So it's weird. Like you don't see like local. I don't really see it. I mean, there's probably like bakers and stuff like that get it from random places. But when you go into the store, you don't really see like local grown grains. Like you don't really see that here.
True.
Because no one does it. But if you go like farther south, you see it everywhere.
I would say it's because if you listen to the radio at certain hours, I'm guessing it's just sold internationally to international sold because there's radio stations that you can hear that will sell the the price of grain, the price of corn for that day. Like it's almost like a stock market kind of thing. Like
the messed up thing right now too is even in like the restaurants and stuff like that. If you go to any restaurant right now, most places that sell chicken wings, it says market price. It doesn't even set a price anymore. Like there's no set price basically anywhere. But besides, I think Wingstop.
Well, they probably got.
I think Wingstop is the only place that has a set price on wings, and I think Buffalo Wild Wings. But mostly all these other places sell chicken wings. It says market price.
Well, chicken wings is a tough thing to because they're not grown chicken like they're.
And the chicken prices are astronomical right now.
It's fucking everything's expensive right
now.
So
it's like 1 week you might be paying $1 per chicken wing. The next week you might be paying $1.60 a chicken wing.
As a restaurant owner, do you have to reprice your menu every?
For me, no, because like everything that I can get, I can pretty much always constantly get. The only thing that really changes, but I don't have a set fish on my menu. Like yes, I have shrimp, but at the same time, it's like I don't have a set fish on my menu. Yeah. So, I could order sea bass one day. I ordered sea bass a couple weeks ago and served it here, and I think it was like whatever price it was, but the price that I found out that it was today was like $5 higher, and that was just in a couple weeks. Really? But it's like, that's why, I like to do fish specials here because I can be like, hey, for my fish guy, I can be like, hey, what do you have right now that's fresh?
Right.
And what's the price on it?
You don't have to have anything in print.
No, you don't have to, because like I said, I mean, if sea bass jumps up $5, I cannot have it
can't-
on the menu for the price that I would have
Yeah,
it
you
on.
can't
You know, it's
print
like
out menus
you
for the
can't
whole
do that.
restaurant,
When it
yeah.
drops, it's great, but sea bass typically never drops.
Nothing.
It
typically
like
ever
plummets
drops,
and
you
it's
know.
at a certain price, and then all of a sudden it'll be at $35, a
Damn.
pound. So it's like, I mean, that's why I don't like really fucking with like fish and seafood right now, especially like having it on the menu fully, because it always is changing right now. It's always changing.
Yeah, but everything else is pretty well.
Yeah, like,
You can
but
count
I'm
on
an
it.
Italian restaurant. You know, like my beef prices maybe change a little bit here and there, but it's like a very minuscule.
Well, you're not
amount.
you're not using.
I'm not like,
enough
oh
beef.
shit, I'm losing money if it.
You're
if
not
it
you're not
jumps up.
selling 150 steaks a night,
No.
where that's actually
No.
costing you money.
No. You know, that's for having an Italian restaurant. Like I don't ever have to worry about like
That's a good point.
things adjusting.
That's an interesting.
So-
that's probably a good place to start too.
Yeah.
You
If
know,
you're even serving like American food right now, where you're selling like chicken sandwiches and blah blah blah, it's like those are the things you constantly have to watch over. If you're
like
selling
livestock
chicken wings, if you're
produce
selling
type things.
all these things, man, it's like, dude, you have to constantly watch over that shit, because right now chicken prices is going like this constantly.
Oh,
You
it's
know, it's like, so
frustrating.
you might put a piece of a chicken sandwich on your menu that you're going to charge $15 for, just to hope to God it never jumps up a shit ton.
Right,
And it might be a
right.
little bit more expensive than everywhere else in town, but it's like, hey, at least you're kind of prepared for if
But
it jumps.
right.
But some people don't do that, and they're like, damn it, man, like we're literally making nothing off this chicken
And they
sandwich right
can't
now.
just change it.
You can't just change it,
Damn.
But with Italian, man, you don't have to worry about it. Like honestly, like for me right now, I don't have to.
Well, you're just sauce pasta,
Yeah,
I mean, for the
pasta,
most
like
part.
pasta prices never go up, But there's some things like maybe my San Marzino tomatoes go up a little bit or whatever, but I don't care. I have to
Probably
use it.
negligible.
It's
to,
literally so small.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not gonna worry about losing 5 cents. Like I don't
Well, I
have
know
to
guys
adjust my
that
price
own
because of
restaurants.
that.
I've listened to them, and they will nickel and dime every single thing. They'll go through the entire sheet and say, "All right, why is this costing more?
Yeah,
and can we get this back
I
down
don't
to
have time
that?"
for that shit.
That's
If you have
a
time
headache.
to do that, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
If you have
It's,
time as a restaurant owner to go through and be like, oh, why is this so expensive? Why did this price change? Why did this happen? Why
Yeah.
is this like this? But
Or you got
I
too
don't
much
have
time.
fucking time. Just bring me my shit. I saw what the total was. Bring me my shit. Let me get it. Yeah, let's go.
Right.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like if you have a good sales rep, your sales rep's gonna be like,
He's
hey
doing
man,
the work for
just
you.
so you know, that case of chicken that you normally get is like $30 more. And I'm like, all right,
Right.
cool. At least you fucking told me, but I still have to have my chicken. I'm still not gonna change the price.
Yeah.
I mean,
call around
when
looking
you
for
break a whole entire case of chicken down, yeah, you might be paying $30 more a case, but at the same time, it's going to be a very minuscule amount per dish that I make.
dish, right?
So
right.
I don't stress out about that shit. Other places that are literally selling chicken sandwiches and chicken wings and stuff like that, they have to stress out about it, because if it jumps up $30,
It's a good point.
that's a completely different ball game.
Yeah. You're diversified enough that really it doesn't probably matter too much. And the things that you do sell really kind of probably keep you
Yeah, I mean,
good.
being an Italian restaurant is awesome, honestly, for many, many, many different reasons. Like many different reasons. I don't have to deal with the problems that other people are dealing with in the world right now, with like things skyrocketing in price and
Right,
things like that. I don't have to really worry about that, or oh, we can't get this now, and stuff like that. I don't really have to worry about that stuff. So I mean, the most expensive thing that I order like at a time here that costs me the most money is pecorino cheese,
Why is that?
because it's just expensive
Fuck's
cheese.
pepperoni cheese.
Pecorino.
Pepperoni
Yeah.
cheese.
It's like it's different. But I use that for the carbonara and stuff like that here. But I mean, it's just a whole entire wheel of pecorino, and it's
It's just
fucking
'cause you have to
expensive right
buy
now.
that.
I have to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy bagged pecorino. Like we literally take it back there and we grate all of it up that we use in the pastas and stuff. All of our cheeses. Our Parmesan, our Fontina,
It's all bought in
our
big blocks.
pecorino. It all comes in wheels. Every bit of it. So those things, that's like the most expensive thing that I have to buy, like as a whole item. It costs more than my cases of chicken do.
So what's a big block of cheese run? Just
I think pecorino is like the size block that I normally get. I think it's like $164.
how long will that last you? Like a week?
It lasts a while,
Oh, okay.
but for one thing at a time,
I mean, that's a big block. Yeah.
like
No pun
it's
intended.
expensive, man. Like you go to the store and you could buy like they slice those pieces of cheese or whatever, and you can buy them, take them home, shred them yourself. You go to the store and you buy like 4 of those fucking slices, and it's like $40.
Yeah.
Like it's
So,
retarded.
Yeah.
You
the
know, so like,
markup on
yeah,
that.
when I look at it that way, I'm like, oh, I only pay 160
Yeah,
something
that's
or
good. I've always
whatever,
wondered that,
and I
yeah.
get 4 times the amount, you know, or 5 times the amount, whatever. But
yeah.
that's like every time I have to order, and I'm like, I have to order fucking pecorino. You know, it's like just because I know it's expensive, but at the same time, it's like it lasts a long time.
Sounds like a
And
frat bro or something.
people
Old
love it.
pecorino.
Yeah, old pecorino
Old
head over there.
fucking pecorino.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm blessed to own an Italian restaurant in this
Yeah, it
current
sounds
day
like
and
it.
age. So, because like the next restaurant I want to do is not, I'm gonna have to worry about that shit going up and down.
Right.
So, like,
What's
Italian,
the next one? What are you gonna do? What's your dream? Bologna sandwiches.
Yeah, fried bologna sandwiches.
Fried
only.
bologna sandwiches.
You can add an egg on top.
Maybe.
Maybe if you're a good
If they're in
person.
season.
Yeah. Something just like
Flex the
I want to
creative muscle a
really,
little bit.
I want to really like push all the things that I have like built up that I've wanted to make for a long time and like be able to showcase and things like that. So like super upscale. Type
So
of
nothing
dining.
in particular, or
No,
as
like
far
just
as,
kind of all over the place, honestly. Like, and that's the thing too, is I love cooking European food.
Mm-hmm.
So a thing that would happen is like, yes, I could take so many different parts of like, you know, European foods and things like that from all over Europe. And I can elevate those in like crazy ways that, you know, other people are doing around the world. But I want to offer like European upscale food to where like, you're not going to go in there and just get Greek food or French,
Right.
you know,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah,
You're not
yeah,
going to go in there and get one style of food. You're not going to go in there and get a fucking hamburger.
where
you
would
know?
where would you put a restaurant like that? 'Cause
So
that
I
seems a
would
little-
tell, I'll tell you off the camera
Oh,
because I
okay.
don't want to say it because I don't want anyone to be like, oh, that's a fucking good idea. You know?
Right.
But I just want to bring Springfield like the first like set menu coursed restaurant. That's what I want to do.
So it would be Springfield, like
Yeah,
some
I
in
think
the
so.
area. Okay.
Unless like there's literally no good buildings for it, and then I'd probably move it to a bigger city.
But you think there's a market for?
Yeah, I think because it's not here. You know, and there's people that drive all the
That's
time to go to
true.
Kansas City, St. Louis, Nashville, fucking, you know, Oklahoma to eat at
Dude,
these
there's a lot
types
of
of
big
restaurants.
events. Yeah, a lot
Like
of big
they
events
eat,
come
they
town.
go somewhere because they're like, dude, I want to go pay $100 a person to go and eat this set menu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people do that. I just did it twice when I was gone.
Yeah, no shit. You
I
traveled. to
did
go
it
do
twice.
Yeah, that's a
but
good
and
point.
it's one of those things. It's like I go and eat at those places because I know when I come back here, I can't do that. I cannot do that. We have good restaurants
That's a
here,
good
but at the same
point.
time,
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
nothing in Springfield, Missouri that
Well,
touches
And
those
you get,
types of
you
restaurants.
get some Dumbo like me that would like to try something new. But
Exactly, but
if I go out of
those-
town, I'm gonna go do the dumb touristy kind of shit.
Those are the things that I think Springfield is ready for a restaurant like that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, so many people travel and they're like, "Oh, I want to go eat at this restaurant because they have this badass menu, and you're gonna, you know, pay $100, but who gives a fuck? It's the experience." You know,
Right,
and
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
perfect place in Springfield, Missouri that I know, and like I said, I'll tell you, that would be perfect for like my vision of what I want to do with the next restaurant.
Yeah.
And hey, if it doesn't work, it doesn't fucking work. You know, I mean,
that's
like
the thing,
I
but-
still have this.
But
You know,
also,
I still have another
it's just
restaurant to go back to.
Yeah, and it's just like anything else. It's like if it doesn't work. You've learned that lesson. You can move on to other things. You're not wondering
Like, hey,
your whole
Springfield
life.
isn't ready for this yet. But who
Yeah.
knows, like in the next 10 years, if I look
Exactly.
down the line, like whether I'll go and open another restaurant just like this in, you know, in Nashville or whatever, because I mean, in reality, I'm going to move to Nashville eventually.
That's a wonderful place.
So it's just one of those things that's like, if I have to go and open the restaurant there or whatever, you know,
It
then
just
that's
forces your
fine.
hand. Yeah.
You know, and if it succeeds there, then we're good, you know? But at the same time, I'm going to look back in 10 years and be like, oh shit, like Springfield's really starting to evolve. So maybe now it's ready. Maybe now it's ready. If I see other people doing things like that,
Yeah.
then
Well, and
I'll
you
be like,
have a
now
good
it's ready.
Your ability here to kind of experiment as well.
Yeah, and like,
You can
that's-
guide. You can kind of gauge.
That's
that.
one of the biggest reasons why I like changing my specials here so much.
Well, you
know,
certainly gauge
Because I don't really want to get stuck, you know, doing the same, doing a fish special every day. I don't. You know, I typically always try to bring in fresh fish.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that people love. I don't have fish on my menu, so I always try to bring in a fish. And then like, I've done lamb here. I've done duck.
Yeah,
I've done all these things that are, you know, not really like what you see in Italian restaurants. But I've done these like, you know, I've brung in Greek flavors. You know,
Yeah,
I've brung in Mediterranean, like other Mediterranean flavors, things like that.
Isn't that what
And
makes
people
all
fucking love it, man.
that kind of mix?
People love it.
And creativity. It's like in music, you know, you start mixing genres and stuff, and it creates something entirely new.
Yeah, and
I
like,
think that's kind of cool.
that like in Springfield, man, you can't really go and get like Greek food. Like 100%, you can't.
There's
go and
that
get
place
Greek
in the
food.
mall that's also
No.
also sells
No.
newspapers.
Yeah, like in Greek Belly down the street, they do a good job at what they do. You know, like they have gyros and everything like that there, but they do a good job at what they do. But when I'm talking about a real Greek restaurant, I'm talking about where you go in, you have like 6 or
the Greek
7 different
experience.
fucking lamb shanks that are all different flavors,
Damn.
braised differently, things like that. Those are Greek restaurants where you can still go in and get a gyro plate.
So that's the
You know?
that's you go in any Greek restaurant in Greece and you
Dude,
have your
you're
ability
gonna,
to choose
like,
the
even
same.
you don't even have to go to Greece, man. We went to a place in Chicago.
Yeah.
A place in fucking Chicago. And they have Greek Town there. You know, they have a whole entire, you know, place for Greek restaurants. And we went to this place called Athena. You walk in and you felt like you were in Greece. You instantly, as soon as you walked in, you felt like you were in Greece. They had like all this, you know, these sculptures on the wall of like the old Greek gods and things like that. And like, dude, they was just like sculpted into their wall. You know,
That's
it's like they
pretty
have
cool.
these old like these pillars in front of their bar, like where it looks like the Colosseum almost. You know, it's like you walk in and you're
Did
like,
you go to the
holy
Parthenon in
shit.
Nashville? Did you have time to go to the Parthenon?
No,
That's pretty badass.
I haven't been there.
It's pretty fucking
We've
cool.
pretty much been, I think, most other places in Nashville.
It's
but
pretty cool. I wasn't planning on going, but I had some time to kill, so I went down
yeah,
there.
we wanted to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but every time we try to go there, man, it's like, fuck, it's busy. Like we
Yeah.
went to the World War II Museum, which, like I said, I showed
yeah, you
videos.
said that.
shit
That was bitching.
man, that was cool.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not into like
yeah.
the war and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
no,
like
the whole time
are.
you were like, hey, and
You would have
and
fucking.
then what happened? I was like,
you
dude,
would have lost it.
yeah, because you kept
You
asking
would
me
have
questions.
fucking lost it.
And I was like, dude, they'll probably tell you if you
and
just.
no, like the reason why is because like, okay, in that museum, it was like you start, you know, like you walk in the building and you know, pay for your tickets or whatever, and then you go upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You go upstairs and there's like a room that you immediately go into the right. That's like literally like Hitler 101.
Oh,
That's
nice.
literally Hitler 101. That is the Nazi part of our life.
They have, like,
was
artifacts
in
and
this,
shit?
dude, all sorts of shit.
Terrible.
So they had like this whole entire like Nazi room, and it was like super cool because like what they did was fucked up, but at the same time, now that you get to, you know, years and years and years later, you get to go and you get to look at those things, you kind of are like, you get the goosebumps.
I had
you know,
a
like,
buddy.
you get the
his
fucking goosebumps
his
'cause you're like,
grandpa was a part of the Nuremberg
shit's
trials,
crazy.
and
Like-
he had a bunch of Nazi flags that flew over Nazi and all this Nazi shit, and you would hold it, and you're like, dude, this is. It's evil, and you can feel it, and then it's
like
way
what they
more
did was
powerful.
wrong, but at the same time, it's like
It's way more powerful when you see
like,
the artifacts
it's
and
the
you
real
see
shit.
what they did, and you're like,
Like,
oh,
it's the
this was
real
real.
shit.
This wasn't something. This
dude,
isn't
they
just
had
some bullshit.
They had German flags, they had American flags and stuff like that, and they had like ripped.
Do you know,
you know,
there
bandaged
was a
themselves up or
Nazi
whatever. Like,
rally
dude, it's
in
just
the early
crazy.
30s in Madison Square Garden.
Huh?
In Madison Square Garden, they had a Nazi rally in the late 30s.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
like,
crazy.
yeah, and like that's
Pretty
like
crazy. He was also Hitler was Time Magazine's Man of the Year.
really.
Yeah.
That's
We
fucking
were
crazy.
all about Nazism until they started fucking up and they
Yeah.
started invading people.
Yeah, because like it goes back to like even before, you know, and that's one of the things that I was like, man, it's like that's crazy. That it took a wild turn. Like Hitler literally turned that bitch completely around.
Oh, dude, he did a
Like,
180 and was
he
like,
completely
all right,
turned that
let's
motherfucker
fuck this
around.
up.
And it's just like it was crazy to read like about the before and then like
Because
the
he got
during.
them out of a huge depression of because after World War One they were fucked. It's just like he did the same shit. He built the Autobahn. He had public labor and all this shit, just like Roosevelt did to get us out of the Great Depression. He did the
Yeah.
same thing. And then something happened, and I don't,
completely switched.
dude. He fucked everything up.
Yeah.
If that switch hadn't been flipped, I believe he would have ruled the world.
Probably.
Honest to God.
I mean, he's powerful enough, as you clearly see. I mean,
Dude.
that dude is a powerful man.
He
And
definitely knew how to get people.
yeah,
On his
and that
side.
was like, you know, that was one of the coolest parts of that museum because like every time I would like go in and I see a Nazi flag, I'd be like, oh, it's so wrong. But like, Jesus, that's so fucking cool.
Dude, but it hits you different. It's weird. It's
It
like
doesn't like it didn't make me mad.
no, it was like man,
It was
that's
like it gave me the goosebumps because I was like,
that's real.
this is real shit. Like from someone that's probably
This isn't a
died.
story. This
Like,
isn't
his fucking
somebody's
ring.
telling me. This
his-
isn't yeah, this isn't a story. This isn't
Yeah, no, this
a
is
movie
like
I'm watching. Like
the real
this is
shit.
real. This
Yeah.
wasn't Hollywood. This actually happened. And when you
Yeah.
can see that and you can hold it in your hands, man, it's not. It's a powerful feeling.
Yeah.
But it's you've really it's awesome in the literal sense of the word.
Yeah, and like that's the thing is like you go through that room, and they have like these like videos going on. You can sit down, you can watch these videos, and then you go into another room, and you start seeing about like whenever I asked you about the fight on the beach or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that happened.
Normandy?
Honestly.
You didn't know
I
that Normandy?
Know that happened.
The largest amphibious assault of all time?
Didn't even know that happened.
Yeah. That was
I
wild.
guess I didn't pay enough attention in history class, or they didn't
It
teach
was,
that. But
it
that
was
was
incredible.
crazy as fuck to read about because I had no idea that happened.
You know they built I'm sure they probably told you they built the fake army
Yeah.
and they did the inflatables.
Yep.
And then George Patton, General Patton, everybody's favorite, was in trouble. So they made him the general of the inflatable army. Because he's beating the soldiers or whatever, calling
Yeah.
them pussies, and I guess that didn't fly over too well.
Yeah.
So they made him a general of the inflatables, and then
Yeah.
he eventually went in there and kicked some ass. But
Reading about all that stuff, because then like you go to a different floor and it's like a different time of what was going on, and then you go like into a different part of the building and it's like all this other shit. And I'm like,
the Pacific
how
theaters
fucking
and all that
long
shit.
was that goddamn war?
Depend. I mean,
How long was that motherfucker?
Well, that's what I was telling you. That's what's wild is that the German theater was that was a quick catch. We went there in June 6th of 44, and we were done within a year. But Pearl Harbor was in 1941, I believe, and it went until we dropped the bomb.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
that was the other thing is that was in there too, and that was kind of crazy to actually sit down and read about and like watch these old videos of like these people talking about like going through Pearl Harbor, and it was on both sides.
Yeah.
Like it was a video of like both sides, like people that
Dude, there's one
did that,
fucking
and
guy.
then
There's
there
a
was
great
also the
documentary. I think
people
it's
that
on
were-
HBO. I forget what it's called, but they talk about the guys that were a part of the they interview a lot of the people that survived the bombs, and there's this one unlucky motherfucker that I think it was Hiroshima that was first. So they blew up the Hiroshima bomb. He got all fucked up and he managed to crawl his way out and survive. He went to a hospital in Nagasaki and he gets in the hospital and he's looking out the hospital room, and that's when they dropped the second bomb on Nagasaki and it fucked him up. The dude was all the way out. He went to the worst possible city.
Yeah.
He got fucked up twice, but it was fucked up hearing some of those stories because street gangs would be formed. Like, it was just Mad Max type shit.
yeah.
Because there was nothing. There was no drinking water. There was nothing. Everyone's dying. It was pretty fucked up.
It was
That's assuming you weren't disintegrated immediately
Yeah.
within the 2-mile blast
assuming you didn't
radius.
get hit by a bomb. It's
Oh
like
my god!
Yeah,
Those are the lucky people that survived.
that museum was crazy. Like that was, I think, the best. I think it was $35. That was
Well worth it,
probably
I'm
the
sure.
best $35 I've ever spent.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like it was so fucking interesting, and like seeing all those like old like artifacts and shit like that. I was like, God damn, man! Like, like even like their old canteens and things like that. It's like you see those and you're like, someone fucking
yeah.
wore that.
Well, that's
Someone
why
wore
I
that.
click all that Civil War shit. It's like
Yeah.
that. Somebody
It's
touched
really
it. Like
fucking
somebody
cool.
saw some shit. This is actually part of something that was
Yeah.
part of history.
Like I said, the thing that fucked me up was like seeing those American flags and even like the Nazi flags and shit like that, where like you can tell that they had ripped the flag to bandage himself up or whatever they had to do.
Oh,
And I was like, there was a bunch of them.
Like a
there
whole
was
room?
Dude, there was kind of scattered all throughout the museum, and I was like, God damn, man! Like there was the thing that fucked me up the most. And I'll tell you this: the thing that fucked me up the most is they had as part of the Nazi era where it was like really cold, and I guess we had a war with them then, and it was super fucking cold outside because the part of the museum
Battle of
was like
Bulge.
all of that was right. And there was like all these like all the snow shit and like all these things. They had
yeah.
the vehicles and everything.
all
But
the
the
white.
thing that fucked me up was you walk by this, I'm assuming bulletproof glass case, and there was a medical kit because they used to just be like tablecloth, and they would keep like their blades and everything in there and their fucking scissors and shit like that. There was
Yeah.
a fucking medical kit in there.
Hmm.
And all the utensils were outside of the thing. They still had fucking blood on them.
Oh fuck!
And on the napkin There's
Damn.
fucking blood on it. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
This happened.
That literally
Did you guys hear about
probably
this?
saved multiple people's lives in reality. Or they
That's
died
nuts,
afterwards.
man.
But that is fucking crazy. There was
That's there.
still blood on it.
That's wild.
I was like, what the fuck? You know, like that fucked me up when I walked past it. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, 'cause it said like nurses, like medical kit. Hey, dude, it was like, oh my God. You know, like on some of the flags, you could see the blood on them still. You know, some of the ripped ones, you could see the fucking blood on them. So they probably had blood all over their hands and they grabbed it and, you know, ripped the flag or whatever.
I went to the art museum in St. Louis, and they had a bunch of pre-war Japanese art. You know, like right before it, and a lot of it was just like anti-American kind of shit, like destroying America, and it was all done in like the Japanese, like on cloth and painted and shit. It was really interesting shit, and then they had like battleships and stuff, and it was wild. But
That's like one of the coolest things I think they did there was whenever, what was the war on the beach? Sorry.
Normandy.
Yeah, whenever we sent
D-Day.
all those ships and everything after that first initial thing happened, they had this big display. It was fucking huge. They had a huge display of like, and it shows, and they have like all these little like wooden boats and stuff like that, like big ones, small ones, things like that. And they had them all like the exact visual of what it looked like when all of our fucking ships were starting to come in.
Dude, it was crazy how many
And
ships.
dude, it
were
was
involved
it was
with that.
unreal. But they had every one of them on this thing, the exact amount of ships that we
That's
sent
pretty
over
cool.
there, and they had all the planes hanging from like a little
fishing wire.
fishing line, and you see all the fucking planes, and I'm like, there ain't no way in hell they're gonna win that one.
Oh,
Like
dude.
there ain't no way.
D-Day
You
was.
see all those fucking ships and all those planes. I'm like, what the fuck were they supposed to do?
Dude, what's crazy too is that was a
I'm
surprise.
glad they did it, but
Somehow
at the same
we
time, it's
hid
like,
all that
fuck,
shit.
man.
That was a surprise attack.
Yeah, it
essentially.
was.
Somehow all that shit was hidden.
It was fucking hidden. How the fuck?
I don't know.
Dude, there was
don't know.
probably fucking, I would say 300 ships.
Well,
and about 150
I guess it's
planes.
because they want to go to the Port of Calais, which was off France, and you know that was the most logical because that's the closest, and that's where the inflatable army was, and so that's where everything was. And Hitler was asleep that night, and he was under strict orders not to wake him up, and to reserve like there's this Panzer division that could have gone, a reserve Panzer division, and he was under strict orders not to wake him up, and he was the only person with authorization to send those to, and that would have wiped us out, but he was all fucked up and was like, "Don't wake me up."
Yeah. Because I was like, man, like seeing that, I was like, holy fuck. Like, dude, we sent the cavalry.
Dude,
I mean, we sent everything we had.
And it's funny because that was like that's all Britain was fucked. They've been fighting that fucking thing for 4 years. They've been
Yeah.
doing that, and then all of a sudden we're like, all right, we'll come in. Like,
Yeah.
here we go. All right.
And that, like, just hearing about it, because like I said, I didn't know that happened. And I think I've heard of Normandy before, but I never, like, actually knew what happened. But, like, hearing about, like, that, you know, as soon as they let those fucking gates down on the
Oh
boats,
yeah, it was
everything
saving.
just
It's
fucking
the
blew up.
opening season or
Yeah.
opening scene of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Like, it's all that shit blew up, and I was like, fuck, man.
Because they had
Like,
those
that's-
machine gun turrets, those big
Yeah.
machine gun turrets, and they were just blasting
and
away.
everything in front of that fucking beach. As soon as they knew exact. And that's the thing too, man. Is like, I don't give a fuck. Those motherfuckers were smart. They knew exactly where those boats would lay down that fucking, you know, their gates and everything to set fucking landmines in, basically.
Yeah.
And they just blew everything up.
And there was all the anti-tank shit, so they
Like,
couldn't
imagine
get anything
how
out.
how much time that took on their part to, like, okay, back this boat up to where it stops, and then that's where you would drop your fucking gate. And be like, okay, now line that whole entire thing with fucking shit that's just going
And
to
somehow-
blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
That's scary
is
shit, man.
crazy.
All those are 18-year-olds too.
Yeah,
Like, it's all-
18-year-old kids fighting that motherfucker. Like, Jesus Christ.
I don't trust the 18-year-olds today
Yeah.
to do that shit.
That's what me and you were talking about. Try
Yeah.
to fucking send an 18-year-old now to do
Do a
shit
little
like
TikTok
that.
dance
yeah,
all
they'd
his
be
way up
like,
to the-
check this out.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Oh,
I was
God,
like,
we're
yeah, no.
fucked.
That's a whole different time, man. But like back then, it was like there wasn't as many, like, I don't think there was as much like shit there wasn't as much shit as we have now, like going off of like what those old guns were and things like that, and even
Oh,
like
no, yeah.
the fucking technology that we have now. It's like, dude, we can go over a fucking country and be like, oh, they got all this shit set up down there.
Yeah. We just
You know,
fly
it's like,
over.
but
We're
back
good.
then it's like you just gotta fucking back your ships up and hope to God that you get it. You
Man
get
more
on the
man.
sand. You know, but back then it's like, dude, they had to get smart with that shit. And like that was one of the things that kind of gave me the chills. I'm like, those dudes are fucking assholes, but that is goddamn genius. Imagine how much time that took them to realize exactly where those gates are going to drop and
Forget what you
exactly
call-
when to fucking blow up. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like that is,
That it cost blood to figure that out.
yeah, a lot of blood.
Yeah, and that's what
A
they
lot
had
of
to do.
fucking blood.
But
At
it
the same
saved
time,
a lot
they're
of
all
blood.
fucking sitting up on that goddamn hill and everything, just lighting the fucking, lighting everything
I bet
up.
they felt invincible for a minute.
Probably.
I
Like,
bet
oh,
they're
you
like,
can't come in
"What
here."
the fuck are you doing,
Yeah,
idiots?
you can't come in
you
here.
dorks! Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you,
just
you
gonna
fucking idiots. Y'all are dead
just
now,
gonna
so I'm just
blast
gonna line
ya.
this bitch back up,
yeah,
and then you're gonna all
dude. The
blow
only
up
problem is
again.
my gun's gonna get too hot before
Yeah.
I slaughter all you guys.
Yeah,
And then there they go. They did it.
crazy, 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 crazy shit.
Well,
But
I think we're at hour and 15. That's a good one.
nonstop talking too.
Non-stop.
That's what we've been waiting on.
I know it. No interruptions.
No, no delays, no interruptions. No.
Well, we'll do it
fucking
again next week.
Shit. Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be Sunday. We're
Might as
back
well
on
do
regular
another one.
schedule
Yeah,
now.
we got to do on Sunday too. So we'll be back at the house
Yep.
hopefully. So
Yep. All right. Bye,
yeah.
everybody.
See you later.